Good morning, everybody here on Facebook. I'm so excited. I'm going to be going live on Instagram right away at the same time, but I just wanted to start with you guys and say how thankful I am for each and every one of you for being along this journey with me. If you didn't know, I was in Mexico last week for a leadership retreat of my own, and it was so amazing. I'm still recovering physically. I got very ill as soon as I got home. Still recovering physically, but mentally processing everything that went on, the realizations that I had, the ahas I had about my life and my business. And I just have to say, it's going to be a wild next few months. And I'm so excited to have you on the journey. So with that, I'm going to go live here on Instagram as well for Business Breakfast and Bedhead, but go ahead and comment wherever you're watching. But we're going to just dive into what my week was like last week if you guys want to hear about it. So let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So about last week. Oh my gosh. If you didn't see it here on Instagram, I was in Tulum, Mexico for a leadership retreat, and I don't even know what I was expecting. Honestly, I wasn't expecting a lot. I was really nervous and I was really skeptical going into it. If I can be completely 100% honest, I was nervous. I haven't done a leadership retreat before. I hadn't been part of something like this before. I'd spent the previous 12 weeks weekly meeting with these people. Good morning and welcome to Business Breakfast and Bedhead. But I really had no idea what I was going into when I got to Mexico. And so I'm really excited to be sharing with you this morning all about last week, the ahas I had, the crazy experiences that I had, the overcoming that I did, the ways that I didn't think I would be able to do things that I was able to get out of my own way. So good morning and welcome to Business Breakfast in Bedhead. I'm your host, Dawn Bradley. If you haven't met before, go ahead and put your name and where you're tuning in from in the chat right now. I want to say good morning and hi to you. I'm so happy to be back live with you. Can I tell you that? I'm so excited to be back here chatting with you this morning. Hi, Cheyenne. Oh my gosh, I don't have my glasses on. They actually broke, so I can't see the comments very well. But I want to remind you guys that this is a safe space where we can learn and grow and show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable together. And what that means is that this is a judgment-free zone. So if you all can commit to this being a judgment-free zone together, can you just put a yes in the comments for me? That shows me not only that you're a safe person for everyone else to be around and for me to share vulnerably, but that you're going to be safe for yourself. Because one of the hardest critics that we have to deal with is that voice in the back of our head that tells us we couldn't, we shouldn't, you won't, you will never. And so go ahead and put a yes in the comments right now if you commit to this being a judgment-free zone where we can show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable, because that's what I'm going to be doing this morning, sharing about last week with you. Hi, Victoria. So go ahead and put your yeses in the comments for this to be a judgment-free zone, and go ahead and put your name and where you're tuning in from. Hello. Hi, Mel Faces. You can't hear. Can anybody hear? Let me know. Can anybody hear at all? Oh, no. Hold on. Let's see. Can you hear now? Can you hear now? I have a little microphone. No hearing? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know. I turned this mic off. Okay, I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to come back and oh, you can hear me now. Yay! Okay, yes. Awesome. I do not have my glasses and I can barely see your comments. Okay, so I was wondering why nobody was participating. Go ahead and put your name and where you're tuning in from in the comments so that I can say good morning and welcome to you. And then go ahead and put a yes in the comments if you commit to this being a judgment-free zone. You guys know that I like to show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable. And that means knowing that it's a safe space for all of us. And by you putting yes in the comments shows not only myself and everyone else in this room that you're a safe person to be around, but it also shows yourself that you're a safe person to be around. And you can kick that inner critic to the curb so that you can show up more. Hi, Dawn from Kentucky. Hi, Kate from Edmonton, Winnipeg, Manitoba. I love it. Hells yes. We've got people from all over the world. So this morning, as you guys could not hear, this morning, we're going to be talking about my week last week in Mexico. I went on a leadership retreat. It's something that I've never done before. Good morning from Idaho. Were you connected to the mic cord, or was it was, you know what? I have this fancy little mic that says camera or smartphone, and I didn't have it clicked on smartphone. That's what it was. And so now you guys don't, I have this mic for my computer because I'm going live on Facebook as well. But we're just doing it. No mic over here. Hi, Christine from Tampa. Okay, I'm so glad that you guys are here. Okay, so if you didn't know, I was in Mexico last week. and I went on a leadership retreat. Now, I've never been part of any sort of container or mastermind myself. And I was really nervous. These people I had met online. We've got Selam. I'm not sure. I hope I'm saying that right. I had met online once a week for 3 hours every Monday for this leadership stuff, but I have never met them in real life before. And so I was really nervous. You guys know I'm awkward, I'm anxious, I overthink things all the time. And so going into it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be spending like 4 full days with people that I've met on Zoom, but like in a group. And funny thing, they all were like, you're so different. And I was like, really? And they said I came across so seriously online, but then I was really goofy in real life. And I have to say, like, hanging out in real life is one of the coolest things you can do, especially in an environment that takes you out of your day to day. It was really, really cool to be able to get away from the day to day, get into Mexico and meet these people that I have connected with. I had really admired. I felt like an imposter around. I was like, these people have amazing businesses. Who am I to be spending time with them? And to just be like childlike and have fun. And so immediately I felt at home and at ease. And I don't even know how to describe why I felt that way, other than my coach, Garen, really setting up the container to be a safe space. And that's what I always want to do with you guys. And so a lot of you guys might have seen my video about doing the cold plunge. How many of you guys are curious? I'm curious if you guys have any questions about my time away. Go ahead and put it in the comments, or just put it, there's a little question box down here. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and sorry, I'm just realizing I don't know if this is like recording from the same place. Go ahead and put in the comments over there. But I did a cold plunge, I did a sweat lodge, and I hung out with people that I generally would be like, I'm not good enough to hang around these people. And so it was a really big stretch for me. And normally with anxiety, it's like, stretching myself, growing myself can cause that anxious feeling of like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I can get through this. I don't know if I can do this. And anxiety and growth can feel a lot of the same thing a lot of the time. And so doing the ice plunge, now I had seen people doing it and I was kind of like, this is so trendy. Like everyone's doing this, like, wah, wah, wah. But I was learning and hearing about it. And fun fact, so I was excited to do it. I was nervous, but I was really excited. Do you guys want to even hear about this? Like, let me know. I was excited and nervous, and they had them there. Like we had just finished morning yoga. They had 3 barrels set up, and then they had like a lay down one. And the guy was telling us about the benefits. Once you do 120 seconds in the ice bath, that's when like the serotonin and the dopamine and all that stuff starts like flowing out and starts like giving you benefits. It helps inflammation in the body. It has so many health benefits, but also like overcoming obstacles. Okay, Cheyenne says yes. So it's funny because I like mentally was excited, but I was standing there and he was telling us about it. And I wasn't even like in line to go first or anything. Could feel my heart palpitating, and it was like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I started to get lightheaded. And when my body wants to get out of something, when I go into fight or flight, even though mentally I was like, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, I started to get lightheaded. I had to sit down. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what? Oh, and like my body was trying to run away, and like to the point of wanting to pass out. I've experienced something similar, but nothing quite like that before. And realizing like my body is trying to run away from the experience that I'm going to put it through right away. And so I was like, okay, no, I got to be first to do this. So I decided instead of watching somebody else do it first, I was going to be the first one to do it so I could get it over and done with and done. So I went and lined up right away, and they got, good morning, Jenna. So then as I'm standing there, they get us to like put our arms and our face in for 5 seconds and then like touch our body and all the sensitive places to get used to it. And I was like, oh, that's really cold. I think they said it was like at freezing. So I think that's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 0 in Celsius here in Canada. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And they're like, okay, then you're going to put your feet in, hold on to the girl's hand and just go under. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be more embarrassed if I don't do this. Like the social pressure of it totally had me going. So then what happens, they're like, you put your hands and your face in a couple times, and then you just step in and you go under. And immediately you want to be like, like you want to like hyperventilate. But we had been practicing for the last 12 weeks, our breathing to keep ourselves calm. And so right away, my body was like, and if you guys have seen the video, I don't know if I posted the full video. I probably should. right away I'm like trying to like stay in it, and they say 120 seconds is like the hardest part. And so it felt like forever. My toes, my hands were freezing, and then the girl comes around, she's like, just I had the water was about to my collarbone. The girl's like, just lean your butt forward and just get your shoulders in. Putting my shoulders in and like up to my neck. Oh my gosh, it got so much colder. And I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And I have to say, like, at around probably just before the 2 minute mark, I just like relaxed into it, and it didn't feel cold anymore. And I had my eyes closed and my breathing was going. And like once I got my breathing going, thank you, Jenna. I missed you too. Do I know why 120 seconds? I don't know. That would be something you could probably Google. I'm not really sure, but they said like 120 seconds is when like the serotonin and the dopamine start to kick in from it. And like I said, I thought it like I am always the most skeptical, cynical person at first of things. I'm like, I don't buy into this trend. I don't really get it. And so then I did it. And I have to say, when I like eased into it, my body relaxed. It didn't feel so cold. And it was like a euphoric feeling. And I had to, yeah, I will, you know me good. I'm a big Googler too. Um, and then I ended up staying in, I think, for 6 minutes the first time. And it was unreal. I felt so good. I felt awake. And I have to tell you that since that, I did a second one, and I did it for 11 minutes and 11 seconds because a lot of people were doing like the 11-11. And I did it this morning as well. And I didn't do it. I don't even know what temperature it was because it was just cold water in my tub. It was a lot harder to do it without the cheerleaders. It was a lot harder to do it without people being like, you got it, you do it. It's a lot harder to do it when you don't have the sun of Mexico shining down on you. I've been trying to do it, but scared because of the metal in my body. Yeah, we'll definitely check with your doctor first to make sure. Absolutely. But I will say this, like the calmness and like anytime I start to feel that anxiety or overwhelm build up in me since then, it's like, and I've been doing that breathing for 12 weeks as well. But it's like my body and my nervous system knows how to calm my body down a lot quicker. And a lot of you guys know I ended up in the hospital with a stress-induced panic attack in 2016. I thought I was dying of a stroke. I didn't know what was going on. I was throwing up every 20 minutes and convulsing. I didn't know what was going, to the point where I hyperventilated. I went to the hospital. All oxygen left my limbs. They went like T-Rexy like this. And I thought that was it. This is it. And so I vowed to never get to that point again. And I wanted to do everything I could to help other people not get to that point as well. And so that's what I do. That's why I do what I do. And I've got some really exciting ideas that I want to do for my business. I have things and ways that I feel like I'm going to be blowing up my business and my life, but I'm just feeling like really pulled and called towards like a new way of doing things so that I can help spread the things that work for me and hopefully encourage you and support you guys in trying and doing new things so that your anxiety, your stress, your overwhelm doesn't overtake your life, doesn't keep you in your way, doesn't stand in your way of doing and achieving the things that you want to do. Because I got to tell you guys, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing now. I remember the first time I went live, I think it was on Facebook, and I was so nervous. There was like literally beads of sweat going down my back. I was like, oh, and I was like, what if only one person shows up? I mean, right now I'm going live in my Facebook groups and only one person is there. And thank you so much for being there. And that used to be like, well, then what are they going to think? What are they going to say about me? If only one person shows up, what if they leave? Are they staying there because they feel obligated? And then if they leave, then I'm not talking to anybody. And then what if somebody shows up and they're going to realize that nobody was there? And like all these, does anybody relate to that? This like fear of what everyone else thinks instead of like, what do I think and what do I want? And so I'm really on a mission to help you guys. And that's why I share about the ice plunge. And now I want to share with you guys about, oh my gosh, wow, the way you overcame that. Oh, thank you. I'm going to tell you about how I overcame something else. So we went to a Temescal, a traditional Temescal, where we, yeah, hair on wheels, 86, 100%. Yeah, they're like, and then they're going to think this, and then I'm going to feel like a loser, and then I'm going to look like this, and I only want to show up. And like, if someone could just get me to the top of the staircase where I know that I could stay, then I'd be able to do it. But it's like getting that first step, taking that second step, taking that third step, looking and feeling embarrassed, having people see me begin, having people see me do it messy. I just want to avoid that at all costs. And really, that's the part that grows the muscle the most. If you can do it when you suck, and if you can do it when you're a beginner, you'll be able to do it when you're up here, but you can't just jump to the top of a staircase. And I'm telling you this because I care about you and I love you. And I know that feeling of being like, I could totally do that. I could totally do what they're doing if I could just get there. Or like, oh, that'd be so easy. But the reason why you're not there and the reason why you're not doing it is because you're not willing to be a beginner. You're not willing to suck and you're not willing to be able to fail in front of other people. The moment you're able to allow yourself to fail in front of other people and be okay, and even if people smirk and even if people laugh, and even, which generally they're not doing, by the way, but even if that's your fear and even if it happens, I want to tell you that that's going to grow your strength. But if you can get the things in your life, if you get stressed out, if your anxiety overtakes you, if your overwhelm gets the best of you, if you feel paralyzed in fear, I get it and I understand. And that's why I'm here to help. That's where I'm on a mission to do this. And so doing things, and I'm not saying you all have to go do an ice bath. I'm not saying you all have to go do a sweat lodge, but this stuff really helped me on my journey where I'm at right now. And I would be doing a disservice if I didn't share it. So we went to a Temescal, which is a traditional Mexican sweat lodge, I believe. I could be missaying that. And we did this like dancing, and I knew it was like a steam room bath thing. I understood that much. So we go into this little hut where you have to like crouch down, almost like go on your knees in. And it was very dim and they said it was going to be dark. Okay, cool. My friend told me, he was like, if it gets too hot or like it's too hard to breathe, just go closer to the ground because hot air rises. It was I don't think you could even stand up in it. I'm not really sure. And they had a big pit and they would bring rocks in from in a fire and put them in the middle, and then they'd pour water on them and then the steam, and they had herbs and things like that. But then they decided to close off the doorway. And that's when, I'm not a claustrophobic person generally, but I was like, oh man, like we're in this like clay hut made out of the earth and they just closed the door. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, and then they blew out the candle. So it was pitch black and my anxiety went wild. And I was doing my breathing. 3 counts in, hold 3 counts, 3 counts out, hold 3 counts, like the box breathing. If you guys have ever done that, that's what we'd been training the last 12 weeks. That's what I did in the ice bath. I was there doing it. I had my friend Maria in front of me. I had my hand on her back. And I was like, you can do this. My brain instantly went to like, what if this like thing collapses on us and we won't die instantly, but we'll just suffocate. We won't be able to breathe. And like every worst case scenario was going through my head. And then I was like, and then I was crying. The tears were coming down. I was like, I don't know. Like, do I want to get out? But I don't want to fail. I don't want to be an embarrassment. I don't want to look like the weakling of the group. Like there was just all this chatter. And I was like, you can do this. Other people are in here. They're staying in. You got this. You're strong. You can do this. You're a big deal. You can do hard things. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, hold. And I was just really, really battling myself. And I stayed close to the ground. It got, like breathing. If you guys have ever gone to a steam room, it can be like really hard to breathe. And I just went through it. And then they'd open up the door. Some fresh air would come in. They'd bring in more rocks. Each time it got hotter. I stayed the whole time. We did 4 rounds. I have no idea how long we were in there, maybe an hour. And I was so proud of myself. It was hard. And I'm not saying anybody who left or if you've ever done it, if you've had to leave, it's not a failure. Those are the thoughts that were going through my head. Those are the things that I was like, oh my gosh, like, can I do this? I've never done this. This is like, I can overcome this. I'm going to be okay. The anxiety, the fear, the doubt, the worst case scenario that went through my head. Oh my gosh. Like I can't even tell you like the whole like idea of it like crashing down and like burying us alive and us suffocating. Like what? Like why my brain goes to that? And it was really a training experience for me. And it was so cool. And I feel so much stronger now. I got home and I was violently ill. And whether it was a parasite or if it was detoxing from a really amazing weekend, today's the first day that I'm back on the bus and it's a big full day. And I did not an ice bath, but I did like a cold bath this morning for 2 minutes and I put my phone too far away. I would have stayed in longer, but the alarm was going off from the 2 minutes and I couldn't reach it and I didn't want to get out of the water back in. Anyway, it was a whole thing, but I'm really excited to do more of it. And I think any of you guys coming to my April or July retreat, we're going to have the option to do ice baths because it's been revolutionary for me, I have to tell you. And I have some really other exciting things that are going to be coming in the future that have been helping me so much with my anxiety, my mental health. I think I told you guys, a lot of you guys, that I've gone off my ADHD meds and I've gone off them seamlessly. And I tried going off them once before and it was like not, because I was on stimulants. It was not a cool thing. And now I've gone off them with some natural things and it's made such a big difference. And I'm really excited to share more of that with you guys as well. So I have some really exciting things, but I'm in this place where I've realized I've built a business into a place that actually stresses me out. And so I'm going to be spending the next few weeks and months trying to simplify it all, go back to why I do this, why I love what I do, why I do this for you guys. And I'm really excited. And I would love to ask you guys to come along the journey with me. Are you with me? Just give me a hell's yes in the comments. I would love to know that because I want to make this experience when I go live inside my programs, Rock Your Business. Fun fact, we've renamed Rock Your Consultation to the Policy Pathway. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. And I just really want to simplify everything and make it more streamlined and make it easier for you and for me and for everyone involved. Hells yes, says Always Flourish. Hells yes, says Cheyenne. Hair on Wheels. Hells yes. Cheyenne, are you going to do the cold plunge in July? I hope so. I hope so. Also, I think I'm getting done my Invisalign this week. Oh my gosh, it's just all excitement all around. So I'm really, really excited to be doing this stuff and being with you guys on this journey. I don't know what it all means. And to be honest, it scares this poop out of me a little bit. But I know that big things are on the horizon and that we're going to have so much fun together. And so I would love, love, love your support and your encouragement in this, honestly, if I can ask that. And I'm not someone who asks. I realized this weekend, I'm going to get emotional. I realized this weekend that I really suck at receiving help. And I don't ask for help often. I think because it's like, I want to be independent and I don't want to, it's a whole story and maybe we'll save that for another time. It's a not wanting to feel trapped in needing people, which I know I've got the awareness of it, right? So step one. I have a really hard time receiving. And okay, I'll share one more story with you guys from the weekend and then I got to go. Oh, thank you, Hair on Wheels. Don't overthink it. Just enjoy the ride. You are such a big deal and help us. I'm here for you, whatever you need. Thank you, Jenna. Okay. So, we did this sound bath. I mean, we went to this cave. Like, I wish I could just like show everything to you guys on a slideshow. Maybe RYBers will do that inside of StreamYard where I can like share my screen. But we went to a sound healing ceremony and I've done stuff like that before and I love sound bowls. Anyway, when I was laying there, we were like laying in like hammock type, like zero gravity chairs. We were laying there and I felt like everyone in the room from the group like came up underneath of me, held me and was like, you're supported. And then I felt like all my ancestors, and I've not been somebody who's been like really into this stuff before, but I felt like my grandma came and spoke to me and I can't really remember what she said, but I feel like she came and said something to me. But then I felt like everyone in my family was like, you're supported, like it's okay. And then it was like there was a chisel going at my heart. Like someone had like a chisel and it was breaking stone around it because I've been so protective of my heart. And it was like beating and I could feel it's like all of a sudden my heart could like truly beat fully and loudly into its capacity of what it's meant to love and care and receive. And it was I'm not like, you guys know, I think I'm like all into this stuff, but I'm skeptical and shy away from sharing too much of it because of the way I was brought up and the way I've also heard other people talk about it and be skeptical of it. I shy away from being too vocal around it. And so I'm curious, is this like, are you guys into this stuff? Do you like hearing this stuff? Because I mean, I think I get nervous. It's like doing that stuff like, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? But I also don't want to avoid sharing something that could be helpful or useful. And it's just my experience. And so it was like I literally saw this like chisel going off around my heart, breaking this stone away where I've been so protective of being loved and being cared for. Oh my God, yes. Okay, Jenna, I love that. And so it was a really, really, I just like felt all of a sudden like the pain in my back was gone because I've always been so like my heart chakra, if you guys are into that. Yes, says Evo Salon. I've been wanting to tell you this stuff. I've been so protective of my heart, and I mean hairdresser arms too, but like my back, like I feel so open. And then I did a solar plexus workshop last week, and like that, like standing in my power and my worth, which is something that I've struggled with, and like I've let my confidence be shattered. So New Improved Dawn is on the rise, and I'm really, really excited for this version of me, and I'm really excited for you guys to be a part of it. And I just want to thank you guys in advance for your support and encouragement. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Balanced Stylist Society is in the house. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. This is kind of who I am, and it's going to ebb and flow, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to have good times, and I'm going to have hard times. Hi, I get one of my glasses on so I can't read. Hi, Leisha. And it's just going to be really cool and magical. And so I feel like I'm stepping into my bigness, which is something that I always share with you guys that I want to help you do. And so part of that is me trusting myself and stepping into my bigness into the next the next thing, and I'm so excited for you guys to be a part of it. Oh yeah, there were shamans with us, absolutely. So not in the Temescal, in the sweat lodge, we had a Mexican or a Mayan shaman, and we did not go to the ruins. No. Anyway, that's it for today, you guys. I just want to keep it short and sweet. I've got a pretty full day going on over here, but I'm so excited to share more with you and more about the transformation. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for your patience. And if you didn't get to catch all of this, no worries. It's going to be live over on the Anxious Creative Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's usually the next day. So go listen to it over there. And if you enjoy these lives, if you get something from it, if you get value out of these free lives that I do, all I ask is like the best way to say thank you and a good energy exchange for what I've given you and what you've received is to share this with somebody else. Either take a screenshot, and that was me posing for the screenshot. Take a screenshot and put it on your stories and tag me and tag the Anxious Creative Podcast. Share that I go live weekday mornings. And let's just spread the word of love, of understanding, and getting overwhelmed, stress, anxiety out of our lives, overcoming it, and fully stepping into who we've always been meant to be. All right. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. And can I talk? Okay, fun fact, Jenna. Someone was talking about Burning Man. I was like, what's Burning Man? And they were like, they gave me a hug. They're like, you don't know what Burning Man is? I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a Tough Mudder, like an obstacle, like exercise course. I had no idea. So I just learned about it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you here, same time, same place tomorrow. I can't wait for all the things I'm going to be sharing. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.